It's D23 2022, and I got some news for you. Let's get into it. Welcome back, Geek Variants. Today we're going to be talking about D23, the Marvel Showcase. This is something I've been very excited to see. Been hyped up pretty much all month long, all month prior. Not only the fact that D23 is around the corner, but it's also the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man. So I got a lot of these fun little things from Hasbro in the mail. These are all fantastic little Spider-Man additions to my collection. So definitely going to get into it and talk about all that good stuff with D23. But got to give a shout out to Spidey because that's my dude. So D23, this was not shown to the general public. You know, you had to get your tickets and all that kind of stuff, invited to that media outlets and everything. So it wasn't streamed. But I stayed up to date as much as possible to get all the information I could to bring it to you guys. And they started off with everything going into Black Panther because we know that is the next thing on the docket is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We will be seeing this in theaters November 11th. Should be Veterans Day. Usually do an early release, so it means it will probably drop on November 10th, which is that Thursday, which is the Marine Corps birthday. So shout out to all my fellow Marines, all my veterans, all that good stuff. So definitely be in the theaters watching Black Panther and getting into all types of shenanigans. Now, Black Panther, they have a new trailer. More of us little snippets, there's a little extra couple of scenes and stuff in there talking about, you know, the Queen basically addressing, you know, what is essentially the UN or whatever case may be about people coming to, you know, try and take over Wakanda or take the vibranium and utilize their resources now that her son is dead. And we all know the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman. You know, Black Panther, we love him, we miss him, but we know that there are going to be another couple steps going forward for what they're going to do with Black Panther. Of course, my speculation is, of course, Shuri being Black Panther. I've seen some other speculations about Black Panther mantle kind of being passed between a couple different characters. So there's always an active Black Panther, but it may not just be just one person. You know, kind of gives me a what was that Batman Mask of the Phantasm feel with the different, you know, characters running around. So we're gonna have to wait and see, and we should get trailers for that, you know, here soon. They did show a couple of trailers. Of course, all this stuff was restricted to people who were present, so only what they've released after the fact is what we're going to get. So we'll see that stuff later, and I'll talk about which ones they released later. But excited about Black Panther, of course. As soon as they finished with Black Panther, they went into Ironheart and started talking about Ironheart, everything that was going on with Ironheart. Basically set up. I don't know if you remember the professor. And again, I'm going to be bad with names because I'm kind of, you know, blasting through this information. You remember the guy with the self-cooking hot dog who's talking to Tony Stark in the beginning of his movie? Well, he is back as, you know, an instructor at MIT, and he is right there with Riri talking about, you know, her projects and how they're over budget and all the other kind of stuff. So it's nice to kind of get that, you know, that those little bit of callbacks and stuff for these characters, and we'll kind of see, you know, how the world is surviving now that a lot of the characters that we know and love have started to dissipate and fan out. So whole new era being ushered in, these new characters. A lot of the veteran characters that are still around are most likely going to be training these characters and kind of getting them up to speed. So we'll definitely see how it goes. Now, with that, we go into Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. As you know from watching Loki, you already kind of seen what's going on with Kang and He Who Remains and all this stuff. Apparently, the plot point of this has something to do with Kang coming to Ant-Man because he needs Ant-Man to locate something or steal something back that was stolen from him. We don't know what this is, what this could be. We're trying to figure it out, but something is missing. So it can either be something very important, more or less a city or something that was lost within the quantum realm, or a particular person that was maybe abducted at some point in time. We don't know. We'll have to see. We know, you know, a lot of the cast is coming back. So you've got, you know, Mobius and Ravonna Renslayer, you know, Loki, Sylvie. So it's going to be a lot of things going on there. Um, Next one we go into is Werewolf by Night. Now, if you know anything about Werewolf by Night, this is where Moon Knight made his debut. So they are doing a Werewolf by Night, and it's actually supposed to be a special, and it's actually going to be released October 7th, 2022. So that's right around the corner. It's going to be released before Black Panther. So we actually have another Marvel project coming before Black Panther, and this is supposed to be done in a whole black and white style, and it looks kind of like a trying to figure out who the werewolf is or what's going on. So it should be a fun little special. Don't know how long it is or the runtime, but definitely gonna get that project here coming soon. So it gives us a little something to hold on to until we get to November, because you gotta remember those Black Panther tickets are probably gonna go on sale about 30 days prior to the actual release date. So make sure you're on your toes, because this one's gonna be, flooded with people trying to get tickets. So if you want to get your tickets and get in early, pay attention to that. Now, there is a trailer for Werewolf by Night, so you can find this trailer online. I will do my best to put the links down in the description or in the comments and stuff below so that you can find it. But definitely go check out that trailer and leave your thoughts below. Tell me what you think, what's going on, and while you're leaving your comments and what you think, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you can stay up to date with all this content we got coming at you. Now, from there, they go into Secret Invasion. So, talking about Secret Invasion, we already know Secret Invasion is a big deal. We've already seen, Shield, Sword trying to figure stuff out and what's going on. Nick Fury is just in a whole world of, emotions, so to speak, trying to figure out what's going on with the Kree, the Skrulls. Freaking, it's just stuff happening. Um, his main point of contact on this was Captain Marvel. She's flying around. There's a whole galaxy that needs to be saved. So we know she's running around doing a bunch of stuff. So Nick Fury's probably going to be on his own for most of this, trying to figure stuff out. And there's been a lot of speculation as to who's what, because we know they've been here a while. So you may not be sure who is who. Nobody can be sure. Like, anybody can be one of these characters at this point in time. So you got to keep in mind with the Skrulls, like, it's, you just got to figure it out. We don't know what script can be flipped at any point in time. So keep that in mind going forward. There is a trailer for Secret Invasion out. So definitely go check that out. Again, I'll try and put that link in the description below so that you will also have access to that, and you can check it out and tell us what you think in the comments, because I want to know. This was a bit longer, and there's definitely a few things in there that kind of grab your attention. So most likely I'll sit there and look through it a bit more and pick it apart and try and break it down as much as possible. Loki season 2. Definitely talked about Loki season 2 and trying to figure out what's going forward with that. We just know we've got some more information, and they're bringing on some more people. Again, I'm not the best with actor names right off the rip, but if you remember Data from the Goonies, like that, he's coming back to play like a records keeper for Loki season 2. So he'll be in there playing his role, and we'll kind of go from there. We got a little bit of information on Echo. Not much, but Vincent D'Onofrio was out there talking about Echo, and just kind of, they're getting the process of stuff started to get everything going with Echo. He also stayed on stage and brought out Charlie Cox and stuff so they could talk about Daredevil Born Again. So we got a few little bits of information, and we got a shot of him in his new gold suit, kind of reminiscent of the classic, red and yellow used to wear. And it was a little banter back and forth between him and She-Hulk, which is essentially going to happen in one of these episodes. And I guess they were talking about what's the difference between henchmen and goons and a few other things. So he showcased a bit of his abilities, but definitely going to be fun to see him back in action, and hopefully we get the same Daredevil we got throughout Netflix, because again, Daredevil was just badass all the way around. Going from there, they ended up talking about Captain America, New World Order. They even got a new, nice big splash screen, so it looks really good. And they're actually talking about a character. So we know that Anthony Mackie is Captain America. Torres, and again, I'm mentioning Joaquin Torres should be coming back as the Falcon, I believe. Again, it's speculation. We got no official. He's the Falcon, but he is coming back. We got Shira Haas. She's supposed to play someone called Sabra. All right, Sabra is very important as far as I'm concerned for what they're doing going forward in Marvel. I'll get to that in a second. Carl Lumbly is back as Isaiah. If he's back as Isaiah, there's a good chance we can have, you know, Patriot at some point for the Young Avengers. So it means Elijah Bradley, around the corner because he was featured in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, and then we've got Tim Blake Nelson. If you know who that is, Tim Blake Nelson. If you remember the Incredible Hulk, Mr. Blue, Mr. Green. Well, Mr. Blue was the one who got his head cracked open and got a little bit of that Hulk blood in his brain, and he is now known as the leader. And he is coming back to be, looks like, the primary antagonist in Captain America New World Order. So we would definitely get to see him. That's a huge callback because you got to remember this is where the MCU kicked off with Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. So this is a big, big thing here. So very happy to have him back on board, reprising his role, and we'll definitely see how it take going forward. I expected leader to clash with the Hulk at some point, but again, Marvel knows what they're doing, so this should be really fun to kind of see where they go with it. So I'm happy about that. From there, they segue into the Thunderbolts. Now, the Thunderbolts is really, really big because this is like the answer, kind of like similar to Suicide Squad. A bunch of villains get together and they got work to go do. So same premise, I think minus the bombs in the head. So we're gonna see, should be Yelena Belova. We got Red Guardian. We've got Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp. All right, we've got U.S. Agent. We've got Taskmaster, and we've got Winter Soldier, all on the docket, freaking, and they are going to be ran, freaking, as the Thunderbolts. I was surprised that we didn't see Zemo or Sharon Carter anywhere in there, but again, Sharon Carter got her amnesty, so she's off in the wind, and Zemo got locked up. So, but I do expect them to play a role at some point in time in either Captain America 4 or within Thunderbolts at some point in time because it just makes sense for them to do so. So we're waiting to see any more information on that. I'm sure we'll get trailers and stuff as things go on. But the Thunderbolts, if I remember, are supposed to close out the current phase that we're working in. So we'll see, close out the end of phase 5 or something like that. So we'll see how it transpires and what they do because they've had to shift stuff around times and move movies and stuff. So we'll see where it goes. The last thing that was shown was the trailer. I won't say the full trailer for the Marvels. There was snippets of stuff. I'm not sure if it was a full trailer or not. That is yet to be determined. But we get an idea. So if you watched Miss Marvel, again, spoilers, you got to pay attention to everything that's coming out. So if you're listening to this, you got to be caught up with everything that's going on in Marvel. They're talking about what happens when the transport happens and stuff. So the transport happens within Miss Marvel's episode, and then we kind of see where the characters go. But it's not just one, two, it's three. So all of the Marvels, if you know who I'm talking about, all the Marvels, it means Rambo, it means Danvers, it means Khan. All of them have swapped places at some point, and they're somewhere they weren't before. So we get a nice little interesting look at their powers and how they work. It looks like we get some team up shots throughout that. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that plays out within their universe. And Goose is back as well. So that mother Flurkin is running around, probably eating up more people, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, I want to bring it back around real quick because this gives us a lot of chance to do more speculations. Again, we got a little bit from Fantastic Four, but it was just the director that was named Matt Shackman. Everything else, we're still in speculation. We don't know who the casting is. We don't know any other shows, what's going on. We just know that things are happening. So again, this is where speculation comes into play, and we're going to speculate a lot. The biggest thing I want to speculate is the fact that they're bringing in Sabra, which I mentioned earlier. Sabra is a mutant. That's the biggest thing. Sabra is a mutant. So I don't know if they're going to keep her with her mutant status, but mutant has already been uttered within the universe. So it's a thing. It's a thing now. So now we're just gonna see how they're gonna trickle it in and what they're gonna bring in. You know, you don't expect them to just drop Wolverine right out the bait, you know, right off the bat. But if you're watching She-Hulk, you pay attention, you see some references that could be anything. Take it for what it's worth, take it with a grain of salt. But again, we see some confirmation that mutants are going to be arriving in full force at some point in the future for Marvel, but maybe not in the traditional way that we're used to seeing them, or maybe not freaking the mutants that we're used to seeing, period. You know, let's be honest. Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine, so like that, they've been done to death freaking throughout Fox. And I can understand if they don't want to bring them back right away. They may want to introduce some other mutant characters first and then start trickling those characters back in with recastings or, you know, callbacks, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's everything's up in the air right now. So a lot of good information from D23. I'm very excited to see what goes on. I want to know what you're most excited for. So please go down in the comments, leave what you're most excited for. What things there you speculate? What do you think can happen? Who is your choices for fan casting? Like, I really want to know because they've already listened to us once when it came down to Reed Richards. All right. Didn't expect that, but I was happy it happened. But again, there's a lot of rumors and stuff floating around, especially characters like, you know, Victor Von Doom and, you know, maybe a certain person of a very, you know, strong, super type of man caliber, you know, possibly playing that role. Don't know. But again, it's all speculation. So again, leave everything in the comments. Appreciate you stopping in and listening, and we will catch you in the next one. All right.